The Forbidden River, Part 1. That night, everyone heard her cries echoing through the village, but no one dared to help. It was a cold moonlight in the village of Akoma. Mama Ngozi sat by the fire, her eyes darting nervously towards the door. Ada, please, don't go to the river tonight. You know the spirits roam when the moon is full, Mama pleaded, her voice trembling. But Ada, only 16 and full of stubborn dreams, tied her wrapper tighter and shook her head. Mama, we need water for tomorrow's cooking. I will be quick, she whispered, her eyes burning with hidden anger. Ada stepped into the bush path, each step crouching under dry leaves. The wind howled as if warning her to return back. In the distance, she could hear the shrill call of an owl, a sign of danger in the village. She tried to be brave, but her heartbeat echoed in her ears. Just get the water and run, she kept repeating to herself. When she reached the riverbank, the water shimmered like liquid silver under the moonlight. Ada bent down to fill her calabash, but suddenly she heard a soft singing coming from across the water. She looked up and saw a beautiful woman dressed in white, her long hair floating like a mist. The woman was not human. Her eyes glowed like fireflies, and her feet never touched the ground. Come closer, child, the spirit sang sweetly, her voice both softening and terrifying. Ada felt her body move. If you like this story, do not forget to comment part 2 because the terror of this story is only beginning. The Forbidden River, Part 2. Ada dropped the calabash and fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. Please, I didn't mean to disturb you, she screamed. The spirits raised her arms and the river started to rise, forming a giant watering hand reaching for Ada. Ada scrambled back, slipping on the mud, her fingers clinging to the ground. At that moment, a loud shout came from the trees. It was the village herbalist, Obu, carrying his staff covered with charms. Leave her alone, he roared, slamming his staff on the ground. The river spirits let out a blood-curdling scream and vanished into the mist. Obu rushed to Ada, who was shaking uncontrollably. He picked her up and carried her back through the bush path. When they got to the village square, all the elders and her mother were waiting, praying and chanting. Obu placed Ada gently on the ground. Her mother threw herself all over her, crying. She is safe, but the spirits will return for what was promised, Obu warned, his eyes dark. And after Ada opened her eyes and whispered in a strange deep voice, they are coming for the village at the next full moon. At dawn, Ada sat alone in her mother's hut. Her skin looked pale, her eyes distant as if she saw something no one else could. Mama Ngozi wept beside her, trying to feed her porridge. Ada, please eat something, she cried. Ada suddenly grabbed her mother's wrist, her voice deep and echoing. The moon will rise soon again, and the river will call another soul. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer the same girl her mother knew. Would you risk anything to save your child? Drop a heart if you felt her fear. Follow for part 3. The spirit's revenge will shock you. The Forbidden River, Part 3. The word was spread quickly. Children were kept indoors. Men sharpened their machetes and elders gathered under the big iroko tree to consult their ancestors. Obu, the herbalist, paced in circle. We must cleanse her spirits before the next full moon, he declared, but no one knew how. That night, Ada began to chant in her spirit. Sweat poured down from her face, and she clawed at her mat. In her dream, she saw the entire village drowning in black water. She saw the faces of her friends, her mother, and all gasping for her, reaching for help. Ada sat up, her hair sticking to her face, and she screamed, "They are coming for the child born under the eclipse. Only his blood can save us." The elders gasped. Everyone knew what it meant. Little Emeka, the newborn boy of Chief's youngest wife. The chief fell to his knees, whispering, "My son, my only son. How can I choose between him and the village? If you were the chief, would you sacrifice your child to save your people? Comment in the comment section and let me know. He carried his newborn son into the night, knowing he might never return. Under the cover of the darkness, the chief wrapped his baby boy in a cloth and tied him to his back. The moon hid behind clouds as if ashamed. With every step towards the river, he whispered, "Forgive me, my son. I have no other way." Back at the compound, the boy's mother screamed and tore her clothes. Her cries pierced the night like a sharp knife. Women held her down, tears streaming down her face. At the river bank, the water bubbled and churned as if waiting for the chief. A womanly figure rose from the water, her eyes blazing. "Give me the child, and I shall spare your people," she hissed. The chief fell to his knees, trembling, but he could not let go of the child. Suddenly, Ada appeared from behind the trees, her eyes glowing. She screamed, "No! The river demands a willing sacrifice, not an innocent." Ada stepped forward from the slash of her own palm with a sharp stone, blood dripping into the water. The spirit screeched, disappearing into a swirl of mist. The river calmed. The chief rushed to Ada, but she collapsed into his arm, her breath fading fast. Would you have the courage to sacrifice yourself for your people? Drop a heart if you respect Ada. As her blood touched the ground, a dark truth was revealed. Ada lay in the chief's arm, her breathing shallow. The elders rushed forward, placing charms and leaves on her wound, but it was too late. Her lips parted and she whispered, "The cause is not from the river, it lives amongst us." Everyone turned to Boo, the herbalist. His face turned pale. He tried to run, but the man grabbed him. Ada coughed out blood and gasped. He sold the village to the dark spirit of power and wealth. The elders dragged Obu to the square. The people screamed in horror. Some spat at him, others wept. Ada looked at the chief's son and smiled faintly. "Grow up strong. Protect them." That Ada's eyes closed forever. A single tear rolled down the chief's face as he lifted Ada's lifeless body towards the moon. "May your spirits guide us," he cried. Sometimes the real enemies live closer than we think. Who would you trust? That night, the village gathered to decide Obu's fate. Under the Iroko tree, the elders sat in a circle. Obu tired and shaken. The villagers demanded justice, their torches lightening up the dark night. "I only wanted respect. They laughed at me. They doubted my power. I thought the spirits could make me king." His tears mixed with the dust in his feet, but there was no mercy. The oldest elder stood up and raised his staff. "For betraying your people and inviting death upon us, you shall be cast into the river at dawn." The villagers roared in agreement. As the first rays of the sun touched the river, they dragged Obu to the water. He screamed, begging, but no one listened. With a final push, he disappeared beneath the surface, and the river returned to stillness. Back in the village, a shrine was built for Ada, the girl who saved them. Every month, they placed flowers and sang her name in gratitude. Justice or revenge? Did Obu deserve this? Comment your thoughts in the comments. Follow me for more series like this because I'll be posting at the same exact time every day. Thank you for always watching.